Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. Welcome to Turnaround Tuesday. We're getting that turnaround now. I do believe the market is topping, and as of last Thursday, and we're forming a reversal, potential reversal formation right now. So we're just going to look at that real quick. We looked at gold yesterday. We're going to zoom through this because there's not much that's changed. So we'll check that out. We'll look at Bitcoin and we'll look at MJ. All right, and VIX. All right, so we have SPX. By the way, we're doing this video at 12:24 Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a 99 cents a month YouTube member. All right. We just did if you notice that Tesla is stronger today, we did a video on that. It's kind of the only, really thing that's holding it up. Clearly Google's green as well, holding the market up here. So we want to take a look at that. And I think that is also in a reversal look there, but I'll post that video above. It's $4.99 a month for individual analysis if you're interested. So otherwise, if you're looking at intraday, these do become public at 4 o'clock. So, all right, we're looking at SPX on the daily time frame. I want to point out this consolidation area. All right, that's going to be a very important area that's formed here. It was important before with this wave 4 leg up here before the crash, and you got the test back up here and then the crash after that, right? And so we consolidated here and moved higher from the weekend of, it was not the one that passed, but the last weekend before, with the trade negotiations with China. It's a gap up, and then after that, just a grind forward. All right, and price action's getting really tight in here. And what I did was, well, let's look closer. I brought the bottom of the wedge, used the body, and then the lows, and there's the body again. Tried to break down, and we're on it today. So it's likely we'll probably stop with some sort of inside candle. We had a bullish engulfing yesterday, and that's what I was talking about with the bullish engulfing being a bull trap. Now that has started to form. The bulls need to see another move higher after this inside day to get some follow through. But not only does it need to get a bullish day, it needs to get past this trend line. And this is now a valid trend line here. You have 1, 2, 3 valid touches here, which makes it a trend line. And so to get above it and stay above it would kind of negate this wedge. Now it could break out and then fall back under. That would be a throw over, but we'll see what price gives us. Right now we're just hanging on to this the trend line low, and now let's look at some of the moving averages. Clearly in a bullish stance, and so price action, if and when it reverses, we're looking for it to hold this green zone. So we have the 50-day moving average at the bottom of that zone. That's going to be the important part. It doesn't have to make it all the way back under there, but for our wave count, to be bullish, we need one more low here, and then a new high. Okay, so that does happen often where a wedge forms. You break down from the wedge, and we do have a benefit of the doubt wedge as well. So this is if you take the 2 lows from back here, that's a pivot. All right, so if we hold that pivot and they go make new highs, that's just as good. So we'll keep that off now, and we'll look for our first initial sell signal from right here. Okay, McClellan oscillator getting weaker. You see breadth is getting weaker. We're back under that 100. We're declining. I think this is going to cycle through. We had all this negative divergence that needs to play out. Now, with that new high that we got yesterday, we were about 90, almost 92 for the RSI. It's not bearish divergence, but it was certainly overbought. And then you have the divergence with the histogram, meaning that this is starting to close the leader line is starting to converge with the MACD blue line. And we're starting to roll over here on the slow stochastic. Again, we talked about this trend yesterday. Let's see if that holds. Awesome oscillator. Nothing to see there. Just bullish. DMARC. We're at an 8 count. So tomorrow will be a 9 count and exhaust signal. I was counting. So if it doesn't break below 1, 2, 3, 4, as of today, it will be a perfect 9 count. And then tomorrow with the 9, it shouldn't close below this one here, below that 5 you see right there. So if we close below 58, it doesn't really make much of a difference, but the 9 count will give us a 9 sell signal. Let's go to SPY. Pull up the money flow. There we go. That's what we're looking for. We now have a potential sell signal on the money flow index. We have been waiting for that. All right. We finally got there as of the close yesterday. We're in the red. That is very good for me. I'm already in puts, so it doesn't change a whole lot for me, but that is what we've been looking for. Today is good information. I'm glad we went through this. That's why we want to see these develop each and every day. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you get these videos constantly, and play the videos at 1.25 or 1.5 speed so you can get this information quickly. I know that there's multiple videos that people watch, and we had our sell signal, even though we ground up a little bit more on the Bollinger Band. Volume shelf. We were at a volume shelf yesterday. If you look at the crosshair that goes left there, that's at the volume shelf where we're at right now. We also can see that we had a consolidation zone right here, and we're rejecting off of it so far. Not a big move. When I say rejecting, I just mean holding from there. You see, we did get a down day today inside day so far. But let's see if we get some follow through. We don't really have any catalysts unless President Trump comes on and says anything. So nothing to look for really tomorrow. Thursday would be more of our data dump. I'm just looking over these, nothing to see here. And let's go over to the VIX. So VIX is still right in our zone. We have this beautiful bottoming process here. All right, and that's from a former wedge from before. Now we're holding on to that wedge, and look at all we're doing is testing this uptrend line for that basing process, and this is just the start of this in my opinion. And so we got below that line and gapped above, and if you dig in deeper, broke above the wedge. And then we're holding right back at that trend line once again. And we have a minor cycle low here. And I do believe that we start to rise in this. And even though we might not make a higher high at this point, it's likely from the looks of this that we'll make some sort of breakout and then get a higher low and then start a much bigger move after that. So that's what we'll be looking for. If you translate that over to SPY, which let's go ahead and go to the 65. That's likely that if the VIX is going to just start to break out, that means we're going lower, and wherever that might go to, we start to make a lower high. So you might get your initial wave 1 in here, make a wave 2 pullback into that time frame, and the VIX then starts to take off, and then the market starts to really rumble to the downside, and the VIX really takes off in that next phase. So I should have got a date for you. So we'll be looking for around June. All right. to make another low. So we should start to take off going into the next few days or so, and then make a higher low around the beginning of June. Okay, the 65, you see the wedge. All right, that's a valid trend line now. Yeah, you can tighten it up a bit. So does price go a little bit higher? Maybe. It's possible. We're at that resistance here, that former resistance right there. And here's the green zone that we're looking for. Basically, this is going to be the volume node. Again, there's consolidation in the past there. Right here is that good support, and then there's a gap there as well. So you have two gaps coming up, and so we'll just pay attention to those. Here's where that last gap started. So you'll get some protection here for the for the bulls. You'll get some protection to the downside. Price isn't likely to just slice through all of those. Maybe we close the first gap and then get a bounce to backtest the wedge. And again, on the daily, I have that wedge like this. Okay, it's going to be the first. On the 65, I don't mind having more lines, so let's go ahead and put both in. That'll be your benefit of the doubt line. And remember, it's not a valid trend line yet. All right, so possibly a breakdown, first sell signal, start to close the gap, and then maybe hit that other gap, get a bounce. So 1, 2, start with your impulse wave lower. Okay. And what does that look like? This is our major count here. And I went through this with members earlier. I don't like this. It doesn't match Tesla as well. So what we're looking for is a still, I know I moved this before, it just fits better for the bearish scenario, okay? And then this would be a 1-2 for the bullish scenario. And with that new information from that gap down from Moody's, that's what gave us that wave 3 and a 4. Now, wave 5 is really small in here. You have the ending diagonal in there, and it was a widening formation. So we're losing momentum. This was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a 1, and then wave 2 expanded flat. Wave 3, 4, and 5. So lost momentum in that move, corrected, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 3. Got the Moody's gap down for 4, and then wave 5 eked out a new high going into yesterday. And so I think the top is in, and we're just consolidating, really trying to figure things out, maybe waiting for data. We'll see what happens tomorrow, even though the Thursday really doesn't seem it. Things can come out of nowhere. So that's what we're looking at for the bearish count, and we continue lower. So you see how momentum was just lost the rest of the way here. Now, if you're a bull, this is where we have to watch out. And you notice the 62% retracement. We don't need to draw it on the bullish scenario, because the 62% retracement acted as good volume node and resistance, support, and became support again. So that's a nice trading model right there. It's a traditional look at trading around and then getting on top. So the bullish example, now you could have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then you're looking for a wave 4 from down here, or even if this is a 1, 2, and then you get another 1, 2 here, just like we have counted on the bearish, and then 3, 4, 5. All right, that could end up being a whole nother degree. So we'd add a whole nother color in here. So either way, we're gonna look for this one first. I need to move this up here. And again, that 62% retracement matches exactly this middle of this range here. So price really shouldn't break below there if you're a bull. And once again, I need to count this just a little bit different if we want this to work out. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That matches what is happening there. And then this just brings it up another degree. And so even now that low makes sense with this 23.6 zone to the 38.2 zone. And after that, if this holds up 4, 5, then you still have a possible another degree that you can count into there, okay? But that we're not there yet. So we have to make a new high first, and then we'll talk about another degree of a bullish pattern where it continues to go higher with another 1, 2 here in a different color. All right, so that's pretty much all I want to show you. Let's look at these indicators really fast. There's our moving averages. We're starting to break underneath the 8. Let's see, we're holding at 20, so nothing to see here yet. For reversal, there's no clear reversal yet, but you have all this negative divergence again on the 65. You have your DMARC. Got your 99 sell signal. LE oscillator, negative divergence. Money flow, negative divergence. Bollinger Band, getting really tight in here. Get your sell signal, the overbought RSI into the top of the band. That is going to break into a big move. Volume shelf, Elliott oscillator, negative divergence. We're looking for a reversal. All right. Even if we make higher lows and continue higher, we're still looking for a reversal right now, and then we'll see if the market proves itself. Okay. Thanks for watching. Wait. Do I want to get Bitcoin? I think we have time. 17 minutes. Bitcoin. Boom. There's our count. 1, 2. Having trouble getting over that 786 with negative divergence. All right. Negative divergence in the RSI. Sol Stoke is starting to roll over. Money flow, negative divergence. Made another negative divergence here. This is, again, one of my favorite indicators. The McClellan oscillator and the money flow are insanely accurate. And then MJ. So MJ on the daily, still working this setup here. Looking for the inverse head and shoulder. Having trouble getting above the neckline, but I think that will happen pretty soon here. Obviously, if we break down, then I think this still could be another setup here with just a lower shoulder where that's an ABC. So it's possible, but I really think things are building up, nesting here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, which makes sense if you're going into wave 3. It should be a large move that really has to play out this nesting there. So, all right. Thanks for joining us here at OptionsTender. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.